sunrise. It's still windy, it's still cold. Yay, the food bag is safe. That's always good. More great mountain views this morning. All along the trail this morning, there are these little patches where the water has frozen up out of the ground. I think that might be called hoarfrost, I'm not sure. But it's really pretty, very intriguing. I have made it to the intersection of Jack's Gap Trail. Jack's Gap Trail goes up that way. The AT goes that way. The trail today is a little more difficult, a little more rocks, roots. I've come about 2.5 miles so far in not quite 2 hours. Look at that. You never know who you'll find hiding in a hollow tree. It's Rosie. The trail is definitely rockier today than it was yesterday. A little bit harder going. It's not really getting any easier. This goes on for a little ways yet, as far as I can see pretty much. And it's pretty jumbled up, so they aren't nice even steps like on down in southern Georgia. But we'll get them. It's a nice big campsite here, just before you get to Blue Mountain Shelter. Good place to take a break and have some lunch or some breakfast. It was breakfast this morning because it was honestly too cold to eat this morning. It's about 11:30 and it's finally warming up. Feels good. Folks, this is why you do not release balloons into the air. They go to the sky, but then they have to come down and they become trash somewhere. Right here in the middle of the beautiful wilderness, a Mylar balloon. Okay, it would appear I am going up there. I think that's where the shelter should be, hopefully. There's some convenient trailside water here, coming out of a spring, right by the trail, which is super nice because it is a big climb up Blue Mountain. And I can see, I'm almost to the shelter. I saw it through the trees there a few minutes ago. Shouldn't be long now. A little more climbing though. Here's the Blue Mountain privy. Looks like it's pretty well made. This is Blue Mountain Shelter. This shelter is super cold and windy. I spent a very cold night here once in a hammock and ended up in the shelter because my stakes blew loose. Has a great view from up here. The inside of this shelter is real cute. They've got a high table there with a shelf, and you've got the shelter itself. And you got benches in the front with the view. For my snack, I'm gonna have some Ritz Bits and Zone Perfect protein bar. Way over there in the distance are some of the mountains I'll be climbing within the next couple of weeks. Standing Indians over there, and even Klingman's Dome is showing up. And that's in the Smokies. And I have finally made it to the summit itself of Blue Mountain. There's a number of steep climbs. And you think at the shelter you'd be almost at the summit, but you aren't. Anyway, now it's 1.6 miles down into Unicoi Gap, and that's almost straight down, which you would think would be easy, but no, it's steep, so it's going to be tough too. Person would go sliding a long ways down the hill there if they slipped. So I gotta watch my footing. Right over there is Trey Mountain. Which I'll be doing, I don't know, in a day or two. Gotta check it out. Mr. Brandy Buck, and he was the man and went down and got that Mylar balloon and is packing it out. Great job, thank you.
Happy birthday, y'all.
I can finally see the road. Way down there and some vehicles. You may not be able to see it on film, but it's there. Inside this little cavern under these rocks, you can hear the water running. But it does not come out here on the trail anywhere. So it's obviously staying underground for a little while. It's interesting. The climb down is a jumbled mess of rock, just like the climb up was. So it's taking some time to pick my way through. This is very confusing here. This has a double blaze, one over top of the other, which should mean the trail goes straight through. But it's very obvious the trail goes this way into the gap. So that really should be fixed. Those don't have enough of an offset, if there is one there at all. And I have done it. The gap is just ahead. And I'm pretty sure my friend's car is there. This is a tough day. Tough 2 days, actually. Ready to get off my feet for today. And here we are finally. That is probably the most winding gap I've ever descended. It's a rough one.
After I met my friends at the Gap, we took a short tour of Helen, Georgia, which is very picturesque. Even the Dollar General is built in a German or Bavarian style.
Edible Legos. Oh, a little bit more. Ready? Got a few. Hold on. Edible Legos.